岁月、环境、规则 ，LPL 在不断改变。6年中，有许多人问我，你为什么还在坚持？这局游戏对你究竟意味着什么？
全军出击！
我见过最美的风景，也听过最热烈的欢呼。为了所有这些，我愿意付出一切。
这局游戏是一段旅途，有人中途停留，也有人会做到最后，而终点只不过是另一个起点。
50的血量，50的血量！
我不懂那么多是非曲折，这局游戏赢就对了。
이번 게임의 낭만은 0부터 100처럼 무명에서부터 이름을 날리는 것이다.
我从来都没有后悔过自己走过的路。 这局游戏的魅力就在于创造奇迹。
많은 사람들이 전설을 보는 것에 열광하지만 다른 사람들이 그 뒤에서 흘리는 땀에 대해서는 잘 보지 못합니다. 하지만 이러한 땀이 없었다면 저희는 다시 이곳으로 돌아오지 못했을 겁니다.
欢迎来到英雄联盟。
会变的是人和环境，不变的是游戏最后的胜利画面。
我明白。 这场游戏就是成王败寇，但是不到最后，我不会放弃对王冠的追逐。
这局游戏需要牺牲，无私奉献，去成就团队的胜利。
他还需要领袖，不管遇到什么困难，都和同伴一起扛下去。
是我最喜欢的玩具。
LPL 需要年轻的力量，是时候让我们来接管比赛了。
想成为这场游戏的主角吗？打败我吧！我们的时代还远没有结束。
We are halfway through week 8 of the LPL, which means only 2.5 weeks remain of the regular season of the LPL before we move into playoffs. Teams are now back in their respective conferences, playing against one another, trying to fight for a top 4 spot. And although TOP have already been eliminated from playoff contention, a few more teams have yet to secure their place in the top 4. And the higher seed you are in your own conference, the more buys you get into playoffs. So every point counts. Cross conference is over. You no longer have free games to take against opposite teams. Now every single game matters to each and every one of these teams. Hello everyone, welcome to tonight's broadcast. I'm Matthew Stewart. Joining me on the desk tonight is Indiana Frost, Screw and Black. And before we dive into the games that we have this weekend, let's take a look at what happened on Tuesday and Wednesday, because although we had a special broadcast of the Snake against EDG game on Wednesday, we still did not cover all the matches. But the most important ones are going to be the fact that RNG dropped their games 2-0 to Jingdong Gaming.
Yeah, Jingdong are still in the race, or excuse me, the fight for 4th place with Team WE and with Team Suning, and grabbing a huge upset victory over RNG means their chances are still that much more likely, especially when you take into account strength of schedule. Now, beating RNG, this wasn't just an easy maneuver. RNG didn't just roll over and die. JD actually just outperformed them at pretty much every single facet in the game. Team fighting, macro strategy, draft, and Yagao on his Galio was a huge spotlight.
Which is huge for JDG, but also not good news for RNG, because once they brought Uzi back in, once they started working with Kasa and Tatai in the top lane, we thought, okay, this is where RNG start to step up. Ever since Chinese New Year, it's all downhill, all uphill for RNG, and now they've faltered to JDG, dropping games here.
Yeah, I believe this was actually Uzi's first loss since rejoining the team, and like you said, since they've reintroduced Let Me, Zatai, Karsa, Imalik, Shi back onto that roster, using that revolving roster of magical chairs effectively, RNG have looked unstoppable and have been our 3rd strongest team in the LPL. But JD really put them in their place and showcased why we are very excited about this new blood in the LPL. The LPL opening, it's all about, it's our time to shine, it's our time to take the crown. Well, JD are the first team that are stepping up and grabbing that away from Royal.
They have been, and they're still trying to fight for advancing themselves higher in their conference to try and secure themselves a nicer playoff spot. With that being said, let's go ahead and take a look at how these teams stand at the moment in the LPL, because on the top of the table it's still going to be IG, Rogue Warriors and RNG, but JDG still 5th place.
And like Fish was explaining at top of day, it is a King of the Hill gauntlet playoff format. So if you are under 4th place, you are not qualified. Now the fight for 4th is still very intense between FPX and WE. One of the other games we didn't cast was FPX actually taking their own agency and picking up another win. And then Suning versus JD is a very close race, with JD finding that huge upset over RNG.
And we're going to take a look at the matches that we have coming up today, because JD have a chance to pick up a victory for themselves. However, it is against Invictus Gaming, who are 12-1 in the LPL.
So there are 3 key playoff implications here today. If Invictus Gaming win and JD lose, that means not only will IG secure playoffs, but also Rogue Warriors. Likewise, Vici, this is your last chance. If you lose here, you are eliminated from the playoff run.
And that's going to be the second match of today. We'll be broadcasting the match, but that will be coming live from Chongqing. And before we go into the first match that we have today, which is going to be IG taking on JDG, there is going to be a new patch being played today in the LPL. We're moving over from patch 8.4 to 8.5, and although it's a small patch, FLICKR, there have been some heavy changes that could impact the LPL.
It's also the fact that we're the last ones to roll over onto the new patch. So, you know, we started early, things got a little bit funny after Chinese New Year, but we're finally back in it, as we're actually going to take a look at some JD B-roll.
Yeah, it's going to be Swain that was played by JDG, and Swain, although lost in this matchup, there's only been one victory for the countless number of times it's been picked up in the LPL. He got some quality of life buffs moving into 8.5.
Yeah, so he has been played 4 times on 8.4 in the LPL. He's only won 1 game. It was the tie on RNG. Now, the key thing about Swain and why it's important that he got buffed on 8.5 is not only because he got a huge buff across the board and is actually a very viable champion as a flex pick between top and mid, but he's a zone control champion. You know, it's about how he can use all of those AoEs and those dots to create and control spaces around him in a region where we love to team fight. So Swain fits right into our wheelhouse.
And we've only seen him played in the top lane so far, but internationally he has been in the mid lane, as you said, could be a big flex pick, and flex pick is something that a lot of the top teams in the LPL love. Also in the mid lane, Zoe has gotten some buffs to herself as well. She was running rampant on the Rift internationally ever since All-Stars fell off after some massive nerfs hit her, but now it seems like she'd be cropping back into the league.
Yeah, and I know there's been a lot of different changes, you know, people talking about Gen the ADCs, but for me, I really wanted to focus on the Zoe changes specifically because Yagao is playing. Yagao is one of our primary Zoe players in the LPL. Even Rookie, who had a terrible run on Zoe in solo queue, but managed to pick it up for competitive. And with her getting these adjustments to her queue, her quality of life does get better. She can creep back into competitive play. Not necessarily as the overtuned Zoe that we saw at the start of the split on 8.1, but definitely a pick that is viable in that mid lane.
And will be a pick to watch in the first match, IG taking on JDG later on. Also in the mid lane, our tank that we know and love before Sion came into the meta is going to be Galio. Was heavily picked up by a lot of players in the LPL. He's been nerfed slightly moving into 8.5.
Yeah, and the issue here is the windows in which he's going to be allowed to roam around the map. And if he doesn't get automatically pushing priority into the lane, that means that picks like Talia and Karma also rise up in viability because they can compete with that wave clear. And Yagao is the #1 Galio player that we have in the league. And with this champion getting down-tuned a little bit, that may change how their composition's put together. That said, he still has all the incredible utility of the cannonball compositions that the LPL love to run. So I don't see him being forced out of the meta, but he's no longer as high a priority, or especially not as high priority as a ban as maybe we once saw.
Yeah, we already see quite a few teams banning out not only Sion, but as well as Galio straight away during picks and bans, denying those 2 main tank picks that can be played top or in the mid lane. We also have Olaf getting some slight buffs to himself, and 8.4 brought about...
Slight buffs?
Slight buffs. 8.4 brought around the fact that you can play around your jungler as well as your mid laner quite effectively, which buff teams like JDG, who have the combos in their mid lane jungle synergy, like IG, who are so focused on winning their lanes, with this Olaf buff, who was already very popular in 8.4, could buff these teams' playstyles.
Yeah, and it's not just about Klid and Ning, although both these junglers would look at Olaf. I'm going to focus a bit more on Ning, simply because he has someone like Jackie Love in his back pocket. And something that Olaf does incredibly well, especially with these buffs, is that he ganks the bottom lane very effectively because he doesn't have any real hard CC on his kit, and a lot of the hard CC is down in that bottom lane for the LPL with the likes of the Alistairs, the Broms running around. So it is that much easier to gank bot lane. He is that much stronger now, and I really expect Ning to shine on this champion if it goes through at all.
Except for you, SOFM, you are completely banned from the champion. You are not allowed to play Olaf, ever. Not your playstyle, not your pick. Leave it to the rest of the LPL junglers.
Which is weird, because Olaf likes to invade, and SOFM likes to invade as well.
Well, he's a tracker, not a killer, unfortunately, and Olaf is a Viking, or a Brolaf, apparently. But moving into the other changes we have, there's some slight changes to keystones and such like that. We also have Cloud Dragon now giving you to in-combat movement speed. So yay, Cloud Dragon is now something that the LPL might actually fight for this time round.
Which is also key because one of the things that people didn't talk about Cloud Dragon that was really impactful is the fact that not only did it feel like it didn't give you anything worthwhile unless you stacked multiple dragons, but also the fact that it was one of the hardest dragons to kill early on because of how much damage and how quickly it attacked. So now that it's actually worthwhile having that in-combat movement speed, you're not as punished for early Cloud Dragons, and we can start to see maybe some routes or jungle paths mixed up, or even objective trading that, you know, if top lane's not going your route, Cloud Dragon is an available objective to trade that doesn't hurt so much.
And that brings us into the first match that we have today. Invictus Gaming taking on JDG. We already talked about how patch 8.4 buffed teams like JDG and IG who play around their mid laners and junglers. 8.5 has brought some big buffs to not only the mid lane but also the jungle itself. So these could be the two focus points moving into the first match.
Well, you would expect because... Real talk, to be frank, if you look at JD's roster right now, the big highlight is Clid and Yagao. They have brought in a new AD carry going from Loken over to RD, and RD does bring some more veteranship status down into that bottom lane. But JD, it's still that star mid laner. And looking at Invictus Gaming, you're going to get smashed by JackeyLove and Battleland. Like, there's no way you survive that lane. The Shy versus Zoom up in the top side, that's probably a wash as well. You're just going to try to survive, hold on. It's about how Yagao is unlocked, that they use high mobility picks like Talia, like the Galio, to then go up to their side lanes and try to recover. I expect that JD will probably play a very mid-based composition, very fast-paced games, and try to just keep up with Invictus Gaming and find, you know, 3v4 or 4v5 advantages to break or bleed open this game.
Well, then is it the onus on IG then to play the exact same strategy? Because if top lane is going to be completely in IG's favor and bottom lane is going to be in IG's favor, shouldn't they just then run the same comp as JDG and shut down that mid lane jungle duo?
Invictus Gaming do like to run that composition, but I actually think IG have been experimenting a little bit more. The issue with RD or Loken, whichever ADC, it's probably going to be RD starting for JD tonight versus JackeyLove, is that IG have an insurance policy late game that they will run the hyperscaling ADCs. JD traditionally don't. Occasionally they'll grab the Caitlyn, occasionally they'll grab the Kog'Maw, but they're much more about the Varus and the Ezreals, those mid-game power spike ADCs. And so if Invictus Gaming want, they could try to match JD in a style that already suits them. They love to play very fast, very bloody games. They're currently ranked first in the LPL for average kills per minute, or they could just decide that they're going to continue to diversify their styles. This game, series win, would lock them playoffs, and just kind of coast into the playoff, not showing any of their cards, and learning and diversifying their own play styles.
Whereas for JDG, it's the complete opposite. They're still in 5th place. They haven't secured themselves a playoff spot, and it's a tight race for that 4th spot in the Eastern Conference. So they're going to be trying to pick up as many wins as they can. They have to throw everything they can at IG. You've already touched on the fact that they brought up their AD carry, RD, who's been playing recently, moving over from the LMS. And AD carry was kind of the unsung part about 8.4 and 8.5. People thought that Jhin was going to come back. People thought that AD carry was going to be changed, but it seems to just be completely the same throughout the season.
Yeah, it's been shifting more towards the hyper carries just because it is fairly safe into that. With the changes from Keystones though, you know, Fleet Footwork losing a little bit of power, press the attack being shifted around, it feels like Riot is trying to inject more fighting or skirmishing or a little bit less safety down into the bot lane. That said, our top teams have incredible talent in their ADC position. You've got SMLZ, JackeyLove, iBoy, Uzi down there, and unfortunately, if you look at RD, yes, a veteran from the LMS, or even Loken, who I consider kind of a mid-tier ADC, that mid-tier ADC kind of turns into like bot tier, barely scraping the bottom of the barrel when you look at, you know, the depth and the disparity of talent just across that position from the LPL top teams to the LPL even middle teams.
And we've seen how JackeyLove is such a mechanical player. He's very good,
very aggressive,
very aggressive player as well. But he doesn't quite have the stats to back it up when it comes to the LPL. And we've seen this before with Rookie, where it's just IG just have so many players who can carry the game that it's impossible to pick one that you can highlight, so to speak.
So my favorite stats and probably the most telling stats about JackeyLove and kind of his responsibility to Invictus Gaming are his damage percentage for the team and his DPM. Now, every team, their AD carry does the most damage or has the highest damage percentage on the team. His is 29%. He's actually ranked 13th. He's almost dead last for his damage share for team output, which again, when you have Rookie, the Shy, and Ning on your team, you don't need to be responsible for that damage. But his damage per minute is the highest of any ADC. So yes, he doesn't have a huge damage share for his team, but that doesn't mean he's not doing ridiculous amounts of damage.
No, if you watch that bottom lane at any given point in the match, JackeyLove is probably trying to trade with his opponent, and RD is going to be on the receiving end heading into game number 1 of this series. JD, every point matters for him as they're still in 5th place. Invictus Gaming as you mentioned earlier, Frostcone could be trying to hold their cards, trying not to show anything to the rest of their opponents in the LPL, and grant themselves a better spot moving into playoffs. However, these two teams, as we know, very similar playstyles. It should be a very bloody match between the two.
Yeah, JD are ranked 6th in terms of kills per minute, so we call it our bloodiness score. And again, Invictus Gaming are first. But let's take a look at the lineups. IG, it's the Shy, Ning, Rookie, Jackie Love, and Baolam.
So many star players in this roster. Every single one of them can carry, even down to their supporter Baolam. They're up against Zoom, Clid, Yakao, Ardi, and Lumao.
And the newest addition to the team, of course, is Ardi, formerly of the LMS. Veteran player, has been around the scene for 4+ years and brings a very different vibe and shot calling into JD. They have some, it almost feels like flashes of brilliance, of just very creative Rift Herald calls in particular, but I've dubbed JD the Dignitas of the LPL.
Oh no.
It feels like if they ever go towards Baron, just disaster strikes. Their ability to secure that objective or to die on it has been so hit or miss, hot and cold, and just all over the board. It's possibly why JD are right now really struggling to fight for that playoffs. If they had just cleaned up some of their macro play, they wouldn't be in this position because they have great talent across the roster.
Yeah, I believe it was 3 to 4 series losses for JDG where it came from a Baron steal, even down to Mako stealing it with Winter's Bite coming out from Braum. But when we talk about JD, we're always going to be focusing on that mid lane jungle duo. Clement likes to say that they have these combos, the synergy between their mid lane and jungler, which again, is just so difficult when you go up against IG who can do the exact same thing.
Yeah, but I do give a lot of credit to Clid right now. I actually feel that Ning is slightly underperforming. We had huge hopes for Ning in summer 2017. Coming into 2018, he slowed down a bit, is changing up his responsibility in the team, whereas Clid is like full steam ahead carry. So I actually give Clid the slight edge here. But Rookie versus Yagao, that's a tough hill to climb.
Well, they're able to pick up a victory over RNG early on this week, and they're going to try and see if they can bounce that victory into one against one of the best teams in the league at the moment, Invictus Gaming. Let's send it over to our casters to take it away.
Thank you, Fish. My name's Pulse. This guy's Rusty. How are you doing today, Rusty?
Outstanding. I'm just ready to get into this first set. I could not be more excited because Jingdong's playing, and I've got 2 players in this game that just excite me the most. 2 Rookie of the Split contenders, Pulse, respectively.
Oh, yeah. 100%. But I'm more interested in the fact that JD Gaming, they could be the beast killers. We call the teams in the East, they were undefeated coming into cross-conference, 21-0, but the first loss they had was against JD. Can they do it again today against IG? Let's find out as we get into Champion Select. Sion, Olaf, and Azir will be the bans out from Invictus Gaming, and Swain now comes in as a priority ban now from JD Gaming on 8.5, including the Time Kench.
Yeah, don't be fooled as well. I have no doubt in my mind that Rookie and the Shy have both been playing the champion. Anticipation for 8.5 coming across, so it's going to be seen on the ban list from Jingdong on the red side. IG, of course, having that priority pick on blue, but with Orianna and Swain taken away, I still don't think their focus will shift towards mid laners. I would be very surprised.
Yeah, you know it. And Invictus Gaming, first pick over to them. 10 seconds left on this one. We'll see what they choose to prioritize, what they're looking for. A lot of the top tier picks have been taken off the board in their respective roles, but Xayah is still up for Invictus Gaming.
Yeah, Xayah's a very good choice, but of course the Rakan still available. Jingdong now ball in their quarters if they want to remove that combo from IG, or if they want to go towards the tried and true Caitlyn. Alistar is your standard response. Now, they don't necessarily have to go towards the Caitlyn in their first 2 picks. They could pick up a jungler with that, or they could actually innovate a little bit further and do the tried and true Jingdong special.
Maybe, but Jingdong will definitely go towards this Galio, which has been changed on this current patch on 8.5, but Yagao is just so damn good at Galio. If they can make it work with the team, then hey, why not? Priority pick it right here.
We've been seeing it everywhere anyway. FLICKR played it last night, but he went towards a Blasting Wand instead of the Catalyst, so there are some different ways to play the Galio now, and that's something we'll have to explore with Yagao once we get into the game, but for the most part, it's his most played champion, and no surprises that he'll lock it in.
Exactly, and the Alistar will come in for Mao in the bottom lane on top of that. So denies it from Invictus Gaming, but the Rakan is still available if they want it in this rotation. Currently, they are looking at jungler. Sejuani's open, Jarvan's open.
Yeah, Sejuani works if they need engage, Jarvan if they want to have the combo with a Rakan. So again, I would expect Rakan will be locked here. We don't look towards IG, we look towards Jingdong right now, and we question, is it the Caitlyn that's picked so often into this matchup, or do they go Varus? The most played champion between each respective AD carry in this game as well. We know that RD loves himself some Varus. He looked very good on it when he was playing against Uzi, when he was playing against RNG. They got that 2-0 victory.
He was playing the pick, yeah, but it will be Tristana, left turn. We're going for this one ahead of those
2 AD carries, Varus and Caitlyn. So
yeah, he's done a full 360 and walked away.
Interesting. Well, we'll have a Vladimir ban towards the top lane and mid lane, mostly at the Shy right now from Jingdong Gaming. Back up to IG. We'll be looking towards the top lane and jungle now from Clid. Can start pinching that jungle pool even more.
Certainly can. When we look towards the next bans here from IG's side, we're about to get the first one. They can still target this, not the AD carry position, the top lane position, simply because it's a super heavy carry matchup between each respective top laner, and the Vladimir was already taken away from the Shy. So I'm not surprised this is where the bans are going in the second ban phase, when they leave them to last.
And these are definitely more fringe picks. Definitely the Jace. Like, you don't see every top laner in the LPL picking up Jace. It's definitely the Shy ban right there. Camille will also come out as both a jungle and a top lane ban from Invictus Gaming, and it will beat Zac, so actually focus firing on Clid to round this one out.
And I like that the Olaf already gone, the Sejuani locked in, so the Zac can be removed. Now, this is not a surprise if JD go towards the Gnar. It is his most played top lane champion with 11 picks this split as well. That would be a surprise, so just wait for the Gnar to get locked in.
Gnar, the most played champion for a lot of top laners, honestly, in the LPL because of that massive meta with Gangplank. Everyone was just playing the matchup over and over again.
But it's also for Jingdong's composition. This is the comp that actually took apart RNG. It's the Alistar, Galio, Gnar, and it's been gifted to them from Invictus Gaming. So now we get to see another opportunity of, can the composition work again, or do IG have a trick up their sleeve to foil it?
Yeah, with the addition of Tristana, of course.
That's a trick.
Really? Really?
Yeah, he's going to be playing it in mid lane. All right, is he? Or is it top lane?
Hang on. This is a bit of a bamboozle. So, top lane Lucian,
rapid
mid lane
fire.
Okay, what's going?
It all works.
What's going on?
That's the thing. Ryze could go top lane.
Yep.
Lucian could go top lane.
Correct.
They can both go. We just have to find out together.
Yep. It will be a journey. Rusty, and you'll be joining me on it, so I'm excited. Jingdong Gaming, well, the Jarvan's still open, and you have a Galio, so you probably want something to combine this with. There's no Zac, there's no Camille. So I would be surprised unless Mal has something else crazy for us, but there we go. So we've got the combo there from JD Gaming. We've also got the Tristana on this one, so they feel like they have the recipe to kill some of these beasts in the East and see if they can do it against Invictus Gaming, as I still am waiting for this Lucian.
I will say that it makes more sense to put a Ryze top into the Gnar matchup and to have a Lucian mid into the Galio matchup. The only reason you would put the Lucian top lane is if you've been practicing and cooking up this spicy meatball for a little while and you're feeling more comfortable giving it to the Shy. We've seen Rookie play the Lucian. We know he is so clean on his Lucian, and we also know that Gnar doesn't have the best experience into Ryze. A similar concept to the Lucian, into the Yasuo matchup rather, where you can just W him, he can't catch his boomerang. So it's a difficult trade pattern sometimes for mini Gnars. It's super hard to play and it forces magic resistance, and imagine forcing magic resistance against a Lucian Zarya composition.
Really interesting stuff. Yeah, that Gnar matchup not great against the Ryze. So Invictus Gaming, the fact that they left the Lucian pick for last and were able to flex the Ryze into top lane, had already locked down their bottom lane. Really cool stuff from Invictus Gaming, and just goes to show the fact that they have such big champion pools means they can pull strategies like this that many other teams in the LPL and indeed the world can't do.
Exactly right. So this will be the first time, I believe, as well, that we'll see the Shy playing that Ryze, something that is coming out brand new for him. It's not the first Lucian that we've seen from Rookie. It's the second one of this split already. The first one was a success, however. And with this composition, we came into this set and we're like, okay, IG, they're pretty much cemented. You know, a set victory puts them into the playoffs. They can just play stock standard and clean up where they've been weakest, you know, practice the team fighting. But they've decided that they're going to bring out something new, and they're going to try and get through where they are strong, even more accelerated than normal. They picked the Lucian to win lane, the Ryze to have a strong laning phase, strong mid game as well, and the ability to work with Ning. This is a very dangerous composition to play against if you're Jingdong.
Oh yeah, mid game is going to be king here for Invictus Gaming. With Jingdong, they've done it once. It was a 2-0 over RNG. Now they're facing Invictus Gaming, definitively the strongest team in the league. Let's see if they can take them down. See, while Invictus Gaming have more fans, the ringleader is not as strong as JD Gaming's ringleader.
He's worth at least 30.
100%. That guy fills up the whole half that audience by himself.
Oh, he is so good. I admire him.
Every single time. He's always here.
It's the commitment, you know? He's not just here this week, he's here every week.
I wonder if he says any words in between the chants, because I feel like you'd blow out your vocal cords from week to week, so you just spend the whole week not talking and then just go all in on,
he
the
actually
chant.
brings a kettle with him and has some Lemsip during the games.
Okay.
Make sure that he can last.
Understood. Well, phase rush for the Shy in the top lane has been confirmed. Mid lane will be Presty attack for Rookie as well.
And a lethal tempo Sejuani. It's not your fleet footwork standard. It's going to be a bit different here from the Sejuani. Now, this isn't the first time that I have seen this. And for those of you that don't know what lethal tempo does, you attack someone and then you get attack speed bonus shortly afterwards. The amount is like 60%, so it's a pretty significant number. It means that you'll be able to clear those single camps very quickly. You won't be as healthy as you would be with the fleet footwork, you know, the move speed perhaps of it, but you still get the attack speed of the precision tree. Now you just get a lot more attack speed, and Sejuani's an auto attack based champion, so it does make sense here to some degree, of course, to go towards it.
Yeah, great for the jungle clear. We saw Jarvan start on top side, and Clid is actually rotating towards the bottom lane now, places down a ward himself. And may come in for a bit of a cheese gank here because JackeyLove, the jump forwards from RD is ambitious.
It was a bait though.
But yeah, because now JackeyLove and Battleland are staying in and JackeyLove is going up into the river. Clid, will he execute right now? He's still waiting in the bush. He knows exactly where they are. Now he's deciding to head into this lane. Mao, when's he going to head into these guys? JackeyLove with the instant heal spots this one out, looking for the flash right after the flank drag. Knock up onto Clid right now. Turnaround damage. JackeyLove unable to follow, but they have managed to rout the offense from JD.
Yeah, they get the flash out of Clid. They force him out of the jungle as well. So the real winner here is actually Ning on the Sejuani. He's just going to go straight to the Raptor camp, perhaps straight to the Krugs as well, and just take everything that belongs to JD's jungler. But when you look at the gank in the bottom lane, being able to put some emphasis down here, prevent Azaya Rakan from level 1 pushing you under the turret, getting control of the level 2 wave. Perhaps it's okay in the end for Jingdong. Silver linings above all else is what I'm trying to find here.
Rookie getting a lot of poke damage down onto Yagao. Now, Yagao did manage to land a nice combo there onto Lucian. Obviously, you want to try and avoid the gap closing ability of the Galio in the Lucian matchup, but Rookie is always able to chase him down. That's what hurts about a lot of these matchups. If you go in as Galio, even if you get a good trade, he's going to follow you down all the way to your turret.
Yeah, the early game lead definitely goes towards a Lucian, no matter how hard a Galio tries to trade. The perfect trade pattern is usually going to be an equalized damage output regardless. And Rookie is able to play around that, of course, knowing Ning is nearby and knowing that Clid cannot be there at all. So he's able to be overly aggressive in that 1v1, even starting with a Cull in the mid lane into that matchup and still able to play aggressively.
And while this is very much a spicy meatball, as the engage comes out from Yagao, choosing to go in on Rookie right there, but Rookie is low enough, he might be able to survive this one, turns around, Lightslinger, last couple auto attacks, he's not going to dive this tower, takes one tower shot, he's dead.
I think Rookie considered perhaps the flash, but the turret may have executed him. A little bit risky to follow that one through, but so well done as Jingdong.
Well, Mao with a nice little engage here. RD's going to also commit to the play. So Satchel is going to do a bunch of damage as Mao is pushing IG towards the tower, but I'm not sure JD are actually winning this one anymore as the flash comes through from Baolan, looking for the last auto attack onto RD. And they will be pushed out of their own initiation they went for.
They tried so hard to commit to that engage, but they couldn't actually catch JackeyLove. The Alistar with 4 stacks on his passive was just trotting towards him and couldn't catch him with the stun. And so they end up winning the trade. Even if the Feather Call doesn't do any damage, doesn't root anybody in place, they just have more raw DPS output they're able to put down. And Clid now, he's going to try and make the difference again.
Once again, but his bot lane is very low. Baolan will get the knock-up right here. Clid does not have his flash, but he does have the flang and drag to lock down the Rakan right now. Teleport response in from Invictus Gaming, and JackeyLove is staying into the fight right now. He's able to push down Clid, and Ning comes in for the flash. Arctic Assault, 1, 2 kills, looking for the third. And JackeyLove, standing point-blank range, takes down the Jarvan.
The second kill goes to the Shy with his teleport down into the bottom lane as well. And JD tries so hard to force, but eventually they're just going to respond to you, and that was the appropriate response from IG. No counterplay available from JD. They overstepped for the 7th time in a row, and finally they were made to pay for it, and the gold lead already stretches.
Invictus Gaming banking on the laning phase, banking on the early and mid game, and with 3 kills, I feel like the investment's paid off.
And you can't go. From this point onwards, they want to kill Baolan. He has a second dash, so he was trying to dodge it. He gets comboed, and with this teleport coming in, they know it's over. They have to try and jump away. No resets for the Triss. The Satchel didn't hit the maximum charge. Alistar, no way to get out, and Clid as well is just trying his best to trade. He was already behind in the jungle. He's now been put further behind, and a kill goes to Sejuani. You're just waiting for that moment where IG ticks over to level 6 and everyone explodes.
Yep, really disastrous. The only thing that JD got off of that play is we look for another engage in the mid lane. Baolan comes out for the roam, and Yagao is going to bite it right now. Clid with the flying and drag will get to safety, but Invictus Gaming can play after play.
And that's the Baolan that everyone should know and love. That's the Baolan that leaves lane even if they're winning and goes towards the middle lane to make a play. This time it's with Rookie being 6. They didn't even need the Rakan or the Sejuani to have the ultimates there, and they will still secure themselves that kill onto Yagao. Flash, not going to be enough to save him, of course. There's no way out this time.
I think everyone remembers the infamous top side of mid ganks out from Baolan on his first back, picks a mobility boost, just walks mid.
Scores the Megan at that time.
The Megan, yeah. But decides to come into the bottom side and still managed to pick up a kill. 4 kills in this early game, 0 to Invictus Gaming. And talking about the jungle once more, we can actually see some of the stats in from Ning and from Clid. I know back in Raz's tier list, he rated Ning very highly, and I mean, if you look at the team of Invictus Gaming, yes, you've got all these strong winning lanes, but you need a jungler who's able to A, slot in, and B, have the mechanics to be able to play with the team.
Yeah, he's just, I mean, Ning's having a very good split for himself, and to contrast that with Jingdong's jungler as well, Clid had such a good set last set, but it hasn't followed through by any means. We're going to have another fight, no chance to talk.
Well, it's going to turn into a 2v2 once more. Sejuani is low, in with the Galio ultimate, but Clid is low himself. Can Rookie get the follow-up damage? The flash comes through, another auto attack will finish off. It's a 1-for-1 trade, and Yagao wants to back away from this one. Rookie's tanking the minions, which makes Yagao think about re-engaging.
Yeah, that's a red buff though under Rookie on this Lucian, so he can't afford to step up Yagao. He's going to be trying to clear those minions. A little bit of an overreach from Ning, you would have to say there. Trying to force too hard. Clid in the correct place at the correct time, as we do get a chance to look at what's happening in the top lane. And trades, like we mentioned in Champion Select, would be absolutely as you'd expect. He's in mini form, so he just gets harassed.
It feels like this first time we've actually seen the top lane, and there's the dash away back to Jackulov, so Mao will not get his headbutt pulverized combo down onto him, and Tao will continue to be harassed. But in the top lane, as we said, like, didn't really talk about it, but in the early game, typically Ryze has a pretty good matchup into Gnar, but because of the roam, well, there's going to be another engage. Balan's going to jump in with the quickness. He's still underneath the tower, and Jackulov was punted back right here. Oh, he's trying to get the down to Balan. Featherstorm comes through and will execute him. Mao is a sad little cow underneath this tower.
And they just patiently hit the turret on the way back through. This game is becoming an absolute stomp everywhere on the Rift right now. When Invictus Gaming play a game of League of Legends, they win lane. It is on you to stop them from winning lane, and that's why I respect what Clid tried to do, but it didn't work. And so they don't just win lane anymore, they make you hurt. They dive you in lane, they kill you in lane, and they constantly make your life miserable. And we're seeing the results of that right now.
It just hurts twice as bad because JD go in for these initiates, but they don't turn out well. Clid's going to go for another one in the mid lane, but Ning is here for the counter gang yet again. As soon as they see Rookie turn around, they know they should run for the hills. And Yagao and Clid, they're still looking for it, but Clid's going to take the light slinger out from Rookie. Zoom in from the top lane, the Winds of War will zone them away. Mao closing in from the bottom side, but Baolan's here as well. Double knock-up, is it enough? Because Yagao will flash forwards, and there's finally the kill onto Ning, but Yagao will pay for it with his life. Baolan running away, it's a 1-for-2 trade in favor of JD, and Baolan just needs to get out alive.
And this time everyone from JD comes to the middle lane, they all cascade towards it, and they do get a successful trade. IG aren't just looking for team fights right now, they're looking to accelerate lanes. JD said, we've had enough of laning. This is a disaster if we continue to lane. Break it up, group as 5, go mid lane and get a pick. Mao in the correct place at the correct time to get the follow-up with the flash headbutt pulve combo. They will get themselves the kills, and suddenly it's still a 3k gold lead, but you're seeing signs of life.
A new challenger has approached in the top lane as Yagao has lane swapped in this LPL game, and he will be facing down Ryze in the top lane now.
Won't last long.
No, it won't.
If you take a second and press tab, or just look at the bottom of your screen because we're not actually in game, you'll notice that his Merc trades on a null magic mantle on that Gnar. If he decides that lane swapping is a good idea into a Lucian, then he is making a mistake. And he should probably go back to top lane. That was more just about covering minions.
Yeah, Clid, flag drag onto Ning. He's not going to engage in this one. He's just creating space for Invictus Gaming to move onto this tower in bot lane. And that is what they are doing, because I would like to draw your attention to the CS difference in the bottom lane, which is currently almost 100 to 46.
Don't look. Cover your eyes. You're not allowed. That's bad.
Yeah, this is not PG. This is some R-rated viewing experience.
Don't look mid either. It's all a disaster.
Yeah, don't look mid. Look, you can look top if you want, that's fine.
Keep looking top.
Eyes up, eyes
Nowhere
up.
else, nowhere else. I mean, that is exactly what you'd expect from IG as well. And in part, the jungler played the biggest reason for this, whether it was a team decision from JD or not. Clid was down there at level 2. He was down there at level 3 with 1 buff, no red. And then he just continued to have to try and counter gank. From that point onwards, Clid's actually been pretty smartly positioned. He's been counter ganking, or he's had the initiative first. Can you believe they're not recalling together?
Feels pretty bad.
Ning's actually been the one out-jungled by Clid a little bit, I would say, from the level 3 point onwards. But it doesn't matter because of how far ahead the IG lanes are.
And what did you call Clid? You called him if Pepper was good.
Yeah, that was what I called him last week, when he was beating RNG. That's exactly how it feels when he performs well.
Rookie engaged on in the mid lane. Yagao lands the full combo. Mounts coming in from the top side, turn around the culling, and Rookie, that was enough to send him packing.
That was actually very smart from Rookie using the culling. If Yagao ever tried to dodge the damage, it would hit Mao, and he has boots of mobility to close distance. So very expertly done from the Lucian here in the middle lane to defuse any kind of ganks, and most importantly, to just win the trade. He's got lifesteal, Galio does not.
Yeah, that Blade of the Ruin King is being built towards, but he probably, and I say probably, but will have enough for the Blade of the Ruin King. There's no way that he doesn't at 12 minutes into game with 3 kills, and with that amount of farm, 120 at 12 minutes is a lot for a mid laner. Picks up the Blade of the Ruin King, and surely he should have more money. Yeah, we'll go into a longsword control ward and a extra potion. Invictus Gaming have already taken down 1 tower in the bottom lane. That went over to JackieLove, and JackieLove will get another tower in the top lane, so he is also rolling in it.
Yeah, IG can just calmly move their way around the rift. Next lane is mid lane. It's already a low turret they could just walk towards and they could take it down. If they can't find their way to kill it, go to Herald. That's a very easy way to secure it. And there's no way that JD try to contest them. Not with a 6,000 odd gold lead at 12 minutes into the game. It's battle stations, but it's too desperate for JD to do anything.
It's systematic and it's brutal to watch. Invictus Gaming have opened up a 7,000 gold lead at 13 minutes open Jingdong, knocking all outer turrets down at this phase of the game as we enter the mid game. Looking towards the bottom lane though, Zoom will land his ultimate.
He wants a crack.
He's about to go into mini form, and that's actually forces the Shy's ultimate out. Zoom's going to follow him through towards the tower. That's the last hyper proc and backs away.
Very well done from Zoom, of course, stacking the magic resistance and trying to have control in that top lane 1v1, of course, in the Australian lanes. On the bottom side of the map, it does have Clid nearby hovering as well. And just respect from Shy regardless. He's going to walk away. He's going to ult to safety with no idea of where Clid is. To the side of course.
And right now, Clid was in the bottom side of the jungle farming, and it's just kind of opened up Invictus Gaming to push the top side. Both Rookie and Ning are in rotation, sitting in the jungle waiting for Jingdong to either rotate or push forwards with their bottom lane, so they can't even defend their inner turret in top.
This is savage. This feels like NBA team against a college team right now. That's so unfortunate because JD are good.
Yeah.
But IG
Don't
are
be
just
fooled.
Destroying them.
Jingdong are by no means a bad team in the LPL. They are very much right in the middle of the pack, probably ahead of the middle of the pack. Like, they are 7-7 right now in the standings. They're right on the cusp of getting a playoff spot.
They're pushing for playoffs. They just beat RNG. So a bit of context. Yeah, JD could be a very good team. They could be a top 4 team if they keep that 4. But the way IG are playing right now, they just diffused it. JackieLove and Baolan got ganked at level 2 by Clid. They almost killed him.
Flash forwards with the quickness to knock him out from Baolan, giving enough time for JackieLove just to tear Yagao a new one, honestly. Mao is sitting here looking for the defense along with Clid. Flash forwards, knock up, follow up with the Galio ultimate. The 1-2 punch will take him out.
They absolutely smashed JackieLove. And just as we compliment him, of course, he gets overly aggressive. He steps forwards, but such is JackieLove, and he's going to be made to pay for it and dies. It buys a bit of time for JD, gives them availability to clear a couple of extra minion waves. But you wouldn't really feel like anything else is going to amount from that. But still, the plays continue.
The old commentator's curse. Yagao is trying to close in around this one. Was thinking about that flank right there, but will choose to back off. The bottom lane, once again, another engage. Zoom finds the opportunity to land the stun onto the rubble of that tower. Misses the wallop though, and the Shy should be able to pick up enough movement speed to disengage from this one. Misses the Q2, so Zoom is pretty okay about backing away. However, Clid, thinking about this re-engage into the bottom lane, he was spotted out by a ward, but the Shy hasn't opened up enough distance now. Will have to burn the flash. Dodges the Q out from Zoom, and once again, they'll adapt to disengage.
You could see that Clid didn't want to use the ultimate because Rise had flash available, but Zoom couldn't hit a skill shot to save his life in that exact moment. Yep. So Clid's like, oh, damn it, I will, I'm fine.
He led so well as well. He hits the ultimate on a very hard to hit piece of terrain and it misses everything else.
Rookie is playing like an assassin.
Assassin Lucian. Oh, no, he's not. Like chips in the, I don't even know if RD was lucky, to be honest. I think he was rotating towards the mid lane because there was a Herald there sieging the mid lane tower.
Okay, he wasn't playing as an assassin, he was a reconnaissance scout that's going to dinner.
Yeah, we'll leave him be.
Candlelit guns.
How's he doing right now? 7,800 gold. Compare that to Yagao, 5,400 gold. He's far ahead of the curve, Rusty.
Even had the perfect purchase there. Went to 0 gold. That's exactly what you like to see. But yes, he's super far ahead. It means his itemization splacks will be very soon. We're not even at a point in the game where there's an objective on the map that IG could look towards. I think the next thing is probably the bottom lane inner turret, but you wouldn't want to send 5 people down here unless you're really looking to force it as a 5-man unit. They could actually implement a 1-3-1 right now if they wanted to.
I'm going to make a safer bet and say the next objective is Mountain Dragon in 14 seconds. But what a thing to say as Rookie almost caught out, but Clid and Yagao didn't choose to engage on that one.
I guess it depends on whose goals we're looking at here as well. Like IG can do the Drake, I think it'd just be free. The next contested objective, presumably the bottom lane inner turret. But vision, I think, is the #1 thing that they'll end up fighting over. You can see like 3 control wards in the blue side jungle of JD.
What a thing to say though, we're 17 minutes into the game and you're like, yeah, the next objective should be inner bot lane. Yeah, alright. Invictus Gaming are just that far ahead right now. They're almost on the 10,000 gold horizon. JD, it's not going to be a perfect game over them, but they haven't picked up a single tower,
you hate to see it.
A single dragon.
That's a 3rd Mountain Drake to come up in 6 minutes,
boy.
Easy as you'd like.
If you wanted to defend your structures, then I guess that's not happening this game.
IG could try to end the game pre-20.
They really could. I think they have to beat almost a 20-minute win in the LPL because we've had some really fast games. Because we do have some fast teams soon in gaming, even EDG when they're deciding to play fast.
IG are the fastest team in the LPL. 31 minutes is their average game time, which is a very quick average game time. JD are quite middle of the pack, about rank 7. It also means that IG, as a result of being the fastest average game time, have the most kills per game on average as well, with 0.45 kills a minute.
Looking for an engage here. Mal jumps in with the Unbreakable Will, but his team doesn't really want this. And Mal, through his ultimate, dies on the spot. The rest of his team, I don't think they have a snowball's chance in hell at defending this tower because they're going to be pushed back to the inhibitor.
Yeah, they get pushed completely back. Exactly what we thought would happen from IG as they commit to the bottom lane. I didn't think they'd commit this aggressively, but it's because Jingdong respond and they say, let's do it, let's dance.
And Bakan, he wants to dance, jumps in with the entrance. There's a follow-up from Yagao, but everyone scatters. And now he's just right in the middle of IG, right where they want him. RD miraculously survives Rookie's onslaught. And the Shy and the rest of the team are looking hungrily at Yagao, who is trying to walk away, but the Featherstorm will finish him off. The Shy now walking away, gets the heal with the shield as well. And Zoom, he's low himself.
I think IG are going to have to back away this time. There's no teleports to follow up any further dives or any further engages. RD living with 10 health and a lot of low blinking health bars from JD's side, but they hold on. So they buy themselves a little bit of extra time. However, IG, they don't need to go back to that tower. They can just go to Baron. It's up in 30 seconds and I invite Jingdong to try and stop them.
And with the amount of items that Invictus Gaming have at 20 minutes into the game is significantly more than teams usually have, as they have absolutely accelerated the gold totals in this game. They have 2.5 items on their rise in the top lane, and likewise in the mid lane moving towards that second item, but has gone for a pit stop, has gone for the 0 along the way.
Yeah. He's changed up his itemization choices here. Of course, Black Cleaver is the way to go, but Zeal, get it in there beforehand. We get to watch the fight that happens in the bottom lane. Tragic that it didn't hit Clid on the initial engage. What's also tragic is that Rookie takes a whole lot of tower, and he doesn't get a crit. In 3 auto attacks with the Zeal, 20% chance, and the next crit was on a minion. So straight after, Rookie gets a bit RNG'd, so no kill. And from this point, they kind of just have to run away.
Here we go, Invictus Gaming, they're on the Baron. Jingdong, they push up into the jungle because that's what they have to do, but they have been completely strangled of vision in the top side of the map.
Clid looking for a desperate steal, but it's already gone.
It absolutely is. Placed the wall over the wall and realized this is folly. We'll have to back away. It's damage control from this point. Jingdong do not want to get caught out. I remember the Alistair was talking about Jingdong being probably the worst Baron team. Well, they also randomly pick up Baron sometimes, because in the last set against RNG, they just got it with like what, the 3rd or 4th pebble with a Talia. Yeah, with a Talia Q. So hey, it works both ways. It's an absolute coin toss with JD. But on this one, Invictus Gaming will get away with it clean.
I believe the rule is if they're doing the Baron, then it's a bad time for Jingdong. If someone else is doing it, perhaps they can get a steal. The Shy, he's very out of position.
Oh, he's a Rise on the run. And he doesn't have the old combo anymore. He's flashing away, but not a flash from Yagao to catch him with the taunt. And the Shy, he should be dead to rights here. Cataclysm, how many ultimates do you want to use? The answer is all of them. But Invictus Gaming are going to push the top lane, the mid lane. JD just wanted some blood before this game ended, because Invictus Gaming are taking everything away from them.
They just wanted the 4v5, but at what cost, Pulse? I just have no doubt that IG are like, well, this is worth it. JD are like, whoa, we got a kill.
We ruined his scoreline, that's all we needed. Mao flashes away, activates the ultimate to follow through with the Sejani ultimate. Ning is pushing forwards into the double Nexus turret. Glitters deep, follow with the grand entrance. Will catch Jaculov on the way out, and Yagao, well, he paid for that one with his life. Klid's going to flash back towards the Nexus, back towards the fountain, and Invictus Gaming with the Baron's up minions are pushing this one in, are looking for the win.
They certainly are. I'd have to imagine they can get it here. JD, they need to fight right now if they want to defend this at all.
Frankly, the days are numbered. They've already ruined the Shire's chances of having a perfect KDA, so they'll take that one. Invictus Gaming dominate game 1.
About 22 minutes. They find themselves with a victory here. Invictus Gaming came to play, they came to win. And JD, I admire how they got to this point, but of course the execution was very poor. The decision making there, unfortunately, it put them behind early. When you're behind early against IG, you are just behind. Forever.
And to be honest, Rusty, that is that game in a nutshell, because we had 20 minutes of gameplay, but I would say 7 or 8 minutes of competitive gameplay. Because even though that bottom lane gank was coming through from JD, it did not go their way. And Invictus Gaming, with that advantage, was able to snowball it from bot lane to top lane to mid lane, and then rinse and repeat.
RD almost getting out damaged by Alistar really does show the state of the game and where the focus was going to be early on, of course. At level 1, RD started with jump. So if that's not a clear indicator of what they were going to do, I don't know what is. He jumps on them and he misses the jump. And Klid's like, well, we can wait 10 seconds and we can go after when your jump's available again, or I can go now. Klid almost dies.
Yep.
Honestly, what's going to happen then?
It's tragic. Honestly, that's all you can really say about that play, because a lot of this will be breaking down those team fights and what actually went wrong, because JD had the right idea. You get bottom lane behind you, win the early game, then what else do Invictus Gaming have? Because they were focused around the laning phase, the mid game, and then winning in the mid game. But it was such a monumental advantage to them in the early game, it just meant they won.
Yeah, I would say the concept is simple against IG. You want to try and empower some kind of lane so they don't win all 3 lanes. Give yourself at least a place where you can trade against them. But where they wanted to trade, they lost, so they don't trade. They trade poorly. And then IG just win all of their lanes. A teleport from top lane comes down, 2 kills. What's a Gnar going to do into a poor matchup anyway, let alone the rest of the map? Just completely destroying them. Ning Rookie, very good 2v2 duo as well. We got to see them working nicely together. But we only really saw IG. We didn't get to see Jingdong at all.
Yeah, even though they got that 2-0 over RNG the other day as well, but that was pretty much an Invictus Gaming game, right? Like, you look at the laning phase, it's like win lane, win game. Maybe we'll get to team fights, maybe that's where teams can challenge us, but if we get out of laning phase, we can go to the mid game, our superior macro will be able to win the game. And that's what happened.
Yeah, I'd say it's fairly quintessential Invictus Gaming, as you'd want to describe it. I don't know what that game was, really. It was a 22-minute victory.
Not a lot of it, to be honest. That's what I can say about it. Not a whole lot of game to talk about, but we are going to send it over to the analyst desk to take a look at the scraps.
Thank you, guys. And, you know, moving into the match, we talked a lot about patch 8.5 and what's being changed.
We literally talked longer than that game lasted.
Pretty much. And one thing that did change was Tristana. Her range has been reduced to level 1, and it doesn't scale as well at level 18. But what's most important is they front-loaded the damage on her W at level 1, which meant that JD only really had one strategy, and it didn't work.
Yeah, it was really clear-cut, because you see the Alistar, the Tristana, because again, you're not going to max W into the lane, so you're not going to make the most out of that that buff that they did give to the W, so it's about early levels, about the all-in engagement. And the fact that it was completely butchered, I was like, oh, well, bot lane's lost, and then you see Ning take the jungle, you're like, oh, I guess mid lane's lost too. But that said, let's start the draft. First things first. Never mind, we're going straight into it. I didn't want to watch this again. So what you've missed so far before this engagement comes in is the fact that Artie, actually no, it's the second one. We're all over the place with our replays, boys.
This is the second fight. This is the disaster that led to JDG being completely shut down. This was a teleport that came in the bottom lane. where the Shy picked up 2 kills, but this was that first game.
Yeah, so the issue is that Artie had already burned his W. Tristana took W at level 1 and he used it to gap close, and he didn't even gap close to anything. He literally just jumped forward, and then Mao's like, am I supposed to flash? Is this my responsibility now? And meanwhile, Clay's like, you know, 2 towers deep looking for the gank. He's already been seeing. Ning's immediately running to his Raptor camp. He's like, if you guys don't make this work, I am done. I am sacrificing myself for this moment. I am trying to cheese for you, and you messed it up.
And it did mess up, and that's something I really want to talk about is JD tried something different, something unique, something a little bit cheesy there. It almost feels like that's what you have to do against Invictus Gaming to pick up a win, and although it didn't work, it was completely butchered and it cost them the match. It feels like the type of strategy that JD need to try and throw to try and make to 4th place.
It's also a really good sampler of who JD actually are. They're a team that very much clearly know their game plan. They stick to it. Their coach, I believe, comes from the LMS. There's a lot of veteranship behind it, and it's part of the reason why JD have remained so strong as a team. Like, again, if you were new to the LPL, if you just saw JD, I promise, they're actually a good team. And they're a good team because they do have incredible talent like Yagao, who is a rookie for the split, and they are quite intelligent. If that had worked, that would have been a brilliant plan. Unfortunately, it didn't work, and then Jackie Love was 2k gold up. He was 3 completed items when Tristana just had a static shiv, and he literally took every single tower on the map, including getting solo gold for the first tower down on the bot side, plus 2 mountain drakes. Like, there's no way you come back from that.
I think you summed it up best after the first gank that failed for JDG in the bottom lane. You said, well, bot lane's lost. And when the second gank failed, you said, well, that's the game.
The game's lost.
The game is
go
lost.
Next.
And with that, IG were able to pick up a victory there. On top of that, the MVP coming in for that match was going to go over to Baolan, picking up Rakan in that game. I mean, he had a fantastic performance in the bottom lane, synergized ball with Jackie Love.
Well, I actually like the supports being highlighted here. Yes, Baolan really set up Jackie Love and his team for all of the ganks, particularly that initial dive on the bot side gank, and then also the pick for Yagao in the mid lane, although Jackie Love got burned for that one in the end. I guess it's nice to see Baolan get some credit, but I feel like Jackie Love was really the star of the show.
Jackie Love was dishing out a lot of damage, he was positioning very well, and it's not the first time Baolan's picked up an MVP as well. We see him pick up Tom Kench quite a bit, has quite a few good plays on the champion, and again, it boils down to the fact that every single lane you look at, every single player you look at for Invictus Gaming, every single one of them can carry and stand out.
Yeah, it's the classic saying that Invictus Gaming not only get to choose when they beat you, but where they beat you. Are we throwing resources to the top side? Is it going to the mid? Or are we going towards the bottom lane? And that's what makes them the best team in the LPL right now.
They've even shown that they're resilient to cheese. A very early gank that comes out from Jarvan doesn't work out for JDG. They're still trying to bounce back off a victory against RNG game 1. You know, we just don't look at that one anymore. Let's go to a quick break and we'll come back with game 2 in just a bit.